Sahil and Rajdeep, this is a big, big move. If it's true, parliamentary sources tell us that the Modi government is now mulling over one nation, one election in a bid to save time and money. Break it down for us. What does this really mean for the upcoming 5 state elections now?
Well, this is really interesting because already in the India bloc, a lot of people, opposition parties are already predicting that there is a possibility that the Prime Minister may call early elections. The BJP is not yet confirming about that. The government has already announced that there is going to be a special session from 18th to 22nd September. We did ask this question to Rahul Gandhi as well. Rahul Gandhi says that the government is scared and maybe because of that, this session has been called and likely that there is a possibility that early elections may call. So Rajdeep is also with me. Rajdeep, the government sources are telling that they are again pushing this agenda of one nation, one election. How do you look at that? Now, the early session, you have been speaking to various alliance partners. You spoke to Mamata Banerjee. I spoke to Shiv Sena. Everybody thinks that there is a possibility that the government may move fast and go for the early elections.
Sahil, I have always believed, and I even did a video blog on this yesterday, Narendra Modi ji does not want to lose even one day in power. So as far as Mr. Modi ji is concerned, he is moving to a timetable where elections will be held on schedule March, April is what I am told. In fact, PMO officials who I have spoken to are also saying the same thing. If you recall, Prahlad Joshi in his tweet is saying, Amrit Kal ko discuss karna hai. What are you going to discuss about Amrit Kal? This was the official tweet. Now sources are saying it is about one nation, one election. For one nation, one election, are you going to call a 5-day session in the midst of festive season when Ganesh Chaturthi is starting on the 19th, just 1 week after G20? My sense is that something does not add up. I am not sure what that is. Is it a diversion, as Jairam Ramesh is indicating, because the Adani issue has been raised today, is the government trying to divert attention from it? Or is it that the government is trying to set the agenda? After G20, Mr. Modi believes his popularity will increase further. If you have a parliament debate where people congratulate Mr. Modi on both Chandrayaan and on G20, while it is fresh in public memory, it will raise Mr. Modi's image. So there are two views, Sahil, as to why this session is called. One, to bump up Mr. Modi's image, or it is a diversion from the Adani revelations that have come out today.
Well, the BJP already has the example of the Vajpayee government. You know, they also tried to ride on the Shining India wave and it didn't materialize for them. The price rise still remains to be a major issue, as we have seen in MOTN. But how does it change equation within the India partners? Because what we heard is that the Congress is not in a hurry to finalize any kind of an agenda. Congress wants to concentrate on the state elections, which the Congress will have to fight with the BJP. The India alliance partners are not going to come to their help in those assembly elections. Whereas the alliance partners have been pushing Congress that, you know, look, there is a possibility of early elections. Let's formulate our strategy right now. Don't leave us at this point of time and concentrate only on the assembly elections. Tomorrow, Uddhav Thackeray will start the session. You know, he will talk about the sense of the house inside the Grand Hyatt Hotel. Will this be also an important agenda, that there is a possibility of early elections? Let's get prepared ourselves for that. Let's talk about the seat sharing the way Sharad Pawar was talking about a day before. How does this change equation within India?
Very good question, Sahil. My sense is, speaking to a few of the leaders of these parties like Mamata Banerjee. Mamata Banerjee believes that Mr. Modi is calling for a December election. And she therefore feels that there should be a timeline and urgency in setting the agenda for the India alliance that focus now on what are the issues that you're going to raise. On the other hand, Rahul Gandhi believes that the Adani issue is too big to be ignored. It's an issue he's been tracking. He wants to focus on it. Within the Congress, there are divergent views. So in Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, Bhupesh Baghel and Ashok Gehlot have investments of the Adani group in their states. They are saying we have got an election in November, December. Let's focus on state-related issues. So I think one of the challenges for this India alliance is different constituents have different priorities at the moment. Rahul Gandhi's priority is, I want to focus on Adani issue because I believe Prime Minister is vulnerable. Regional allies believe that we have to defeat Mr. Modi in 2024 for our own survival. what is the plan that we can put in place and put in place urgently. And the section of the Congress believes, let us first do well in the November-December election, then we will have more leverage within this alliance. So I think different outfits, different constituents have very different priorities at the moment.
Also, if you look at historically, the elections happening simultaneously, say assembly election and the Lok Sabha elections, doesn't yield the same results most of the time. A lot of times this has been seen that people vote differently for the Lok Sabha, and at the same time, in the another box, they vote differently for the assembly. Does it work for the BJP? Because there were reports earlier that the BJP leaders from Maharashtra had requested that let's have the Maharashtra Assembly and the Lok Sabha elections together, which was shot down by the central leadership. So why again there is a talk about one nation, one election? It's does it going to help any which ways, or it's a different strategy altogether?
First of all, I don't think one nation, one election is going to be accepted by many of the regional parties as well. They don't want the election to be held all the time under the shadow of the BJP. So I think this is a red herring, personally. This may be a debating point, but it's not going to be accepted. Sahil, BJP also, my sense is, knows what, they don't want to commit the mistake that Vajpayee committed in 2004 by bringing elections early. They also recognize that they need to use power. Their timetable is in January to go ahead with the Ram Mandir inauguration, then build on that. At the moment, yes, Chandrayaan and G20 have raised the Prime Minister's profile. But, you know, a week is a long time in Indian politics. Lot can change. BJP believes that they are better equipped organizationally, resource-wise, to fight the election. The only reason why there can be an early election is that the BJP doesn't want the India alliance to have any time to organize itself. But my sense is their own internal surveys are not showing at the moment the Prime Minister so vulnerable as Mamata Banerjee and others are making it out to be. I think Mr. Modi will wait. He wants a timeline. He's preparing the ground in a way to raise various issues of public concern. One nation, one election this time. I am told he wants to raise women reservation also, and wants to slowly but surely build a kind of agenda where the opposition cannot capture the narrative. Mr. Modi wants to seize the narrative all the time. Today what has happened, because of the Adani issue, the opposition has got a talking point. So Mr. Modi will very carefully...
That also only Congress and Rahul Gandhi specifically is talking about it. Nobody else spoke about Adani issue today here when we were trying to speak to the opposition.
I was told by a senior leader of the alliance that they now believe Mr. Modi will also bring petrol prices through excise duty cuts also. So you may well have petrol prices also being brought down ahead of the festive season. LPG prices down, petrol prices down. Mr. Modi is moving to his own narrative. The opposition at the moment, specifically Rahul Gandhi, is determined to make Adani the biggest.
Okay, lastly, quickly, because I have to toss it back. Now that after the meeting the people started arriving in Mumbai yesterday, since yesterday. What are the 3 points you think that now there will be a talking point within the India alliance partners? Is it Adani, is it the parliament session, or is it the early elections? What do you think will be the talking point?
One, I think some of them like Nitish Kumar and Mamata Banerjee will raise the fact that we need to have a timeline to work in the assumption that Mr. Modi could call a December election. So a timeline that we cannot wait anymore. One of the leaders said this political tourism has to stop. We need an agenda. Number 2, coordination committee meeting. A lot of the allies say a lot of things about each other once the meetings are over, especially at local level. Can we have a better coordination
committee, formation of...
Yeah, there will definitely be an attempt made to form a coordination committee. And I am told 3 or 4 or 5 key points, messaging points, that this alliance believes will make them stand out vis-a-vis the BJP. Now, these are the issues which at least the allies want to focus on. Congress wants to buy some more time. Will they be allowed by the regional allies to buy more time? I'm not so sure. I think eventually we will have a logo tomorrow unveiling, which I'm told will have a tricolor in it. And I'm told that there will be a coordination committee.
Well, very interesting that the alliance partners will now also have to think about why there is a talk about early elections. Also, why a parliament session, 5 days special parliament session, and how to strategize for the upcoming parliament session as well.